Excellencies, my dear friend, I'm very pleased to address the distinguished participant at the 25th edition of the Eurasian Economic Summit. I warmly congratulate the Marmara Foundation and its president, Dr. Akan Suber, for the continued success of this meeting. Let me begin with a brief reflection on how the UN Alliance of Civilization became an initiative at the UN and a tool of conflict prevention. As you will all recall, in 2005, the Alliance of Civilization was initiated by Spain and Turkey as an antidote to the clash of civilization rhetoric to promote peaceful coexistence in a difficult age. Its view is to respond to the growing polarization and increasingly sectarian and ethnic conflict. Much has happened since the time when the clash of civilization and the war on terror were the issues dominating the international agenda. My friends, today, as part of the definition of the role and practices of the United Nations, the Alliance of Civilization has turned into an important tool for peace building and conflict resolution by addressing multiple challenges such as extremism, racism, xenophobia, anti-Semitism, and Islamophobia. The Alliance also offers a platform for much-needed dialogue. At a time when the international community is facing global problems like the COVID-19 pandemic, the crisis of climate change, migration, armed conflicts such as Ukraine, and growing economic and social inequalities, all these crises have been met with global indifference. On the contrary, what this conflict and crisis should revive is an awareness that we are one humanity, as UNAOC champions, and that the answer to these crucial challenges should involve all members of the family of nations. The challenge that we face now is to awaken the ideals of fraternity and the concept of one humanity in today's context, to develop a culture of dialogue and amity in international relations. We need to promote awareness about all culture through dialogue and education and build an environment conducive to peace at every possible level, be it global, regional, national, and even more importantly, local. Dialogue, my friend, is the necessary condition for peaceful coexistence in all its forms. Dialogue becomes an imperative to build a culture of encounter. Dialogue is needed not only to recognize and talk about the problems, but more so to prepare, produce a concrete proposal that can reflect a joint solution. The success of such an approach will depend on the ability to recognize one another as brothers and sisters, which brings us to the basic concept of the Alliance of Civilization, the one humanity we are here to reflect upon and to serve. The Alliance of Civilization has been acting along the lines of these ideas and principles and is trying to create a platform to implement programs, design projects, and create network and new lines for international mediation and conflict resolution. Since the summit is on the economy, let me, my friends, also share some reflection on how peace and economic welfare are interlinked and on the relevance of the one humanity concept in the economic sphere. The current global situation, with ongoing armed conflict like Ukraine, the impact on life, economies, and even the environment has increased the urgency of putting aside prejudices. It is impossible to guarantee economic welfare without cooperation and peace. Our shared prosperity requires the foundation of a solid culture of understanding that relies on diplomacy and dialogue. In our pursuit of cultural and economic excellence, we remain to be one humanity, We all have the same human rights, and we all share the same necessities to live in peace and to enjoy sustainable economic opportunity. In our interconnected world, violent conflict can pose grave threats to global food security, blocking supply chains. The fact that conflict is a driver of poverty and misery, destroying infrastructure, divesting resources, and worst of all, annihilating human life has been long time established. All these consequences are now felt globally. We have built a one humanity world, whether intended or not, and it is about time we become conscious of it to act and react accordingly. It is when we fully harness our human potential that valuable alternatives and solutions, new horizons like digital economy and green energy are developed in an inclusive and sustainable way. If we exclude part of our society from this gain, we are weakening our prospect in the long run. We see how, over the course of history, greater prosperity has enabled global citizens to demand their seat at the table, to choose peace over conflict, and to become the leaders of their own destiny. I want to warmly, my friends, welcome the work of the thought leaders and representatives present here today, and I congratulate the Marmara Foundation for bringing them together. These spaces bear witness that dialogue and cooperation stand a chance. I can see the future of the one humanity on a cultural, political, diplomatic, and economic level, being brought forth if we are not discouraged in our efforts. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the success. Thank you very much.